As a player, we need to start admitting our mistakes. There's a lot of toxic people in the community, and I'm not saying toxic in a way that they're toxic around people, but they're toxic towards themselves. Sometimes they lose and they get really depressed and they don't want to improve anymore, they give up, or sometimes they do really good, they win a couple sets, but then never go past a third win or a fourth win, never going past 13th place out of like what, 50, or never going past last place. And that is mainly because you as a player, or I as a player, do not see our flaws. And the only people that do see our flaws are our opponents, who are better than us, because they see their own flaws also, so they improve upon it. If I'm always jumping when I'm getting threatened, I have to notice that. I have to adapt on the fly, and if I can't do that, then I'm most likely losing because my habits are holding me back. I'll give you an example. One of my friends, his name is Master Mike. I asked him one day back in the Smash 4 days, which was like around last year, I'm like, what do you think of my neutral? And he laughed at me because as a Street Fighter 5 player, neutral is like everything in that game. So I took it to heart, because if he's telling me my neutral is laughable, I have to fix it. And he will tell me, right now, you're only abusing your character's sword. And when I look back at my Smash 4 videos, I am just swinging and abusing my sword. So then I worked on it. And now I ask him, I'm like, do you think my neutral's better? And he's just like, man, you don't even need the sword anymore. Like, you play characters like Diddy, and you're doing better, and you're learning how to control the stage. And then I asked him recently, like maybe a month ago, while I was at tournament, I'm like, hey bro, I feel like I'm stuck. I feel like I'm getting nervous. I'm like, what can I do? Like, what am I doing wrong? Like, I let him watch my sets, and he told me, he's just like, dude, you're always going for the edge guard. You're always losing stage control because of it, and guess what? You lose because of it. You do really good on stage, and then for no reason at all, you could be 2 stocks up ahead, and you still go for that edge guard when you could be safer and go for a ledge trap. In a month, I stopped always going for the edge guard and only selecting the times I do it. And I only select the times I go for the edge guard now, because I paid attention. I humbled myself, and I said, okay, this is a problem. I thought I was doing a good thing before, but now I'm not. Now I see that this is holding me back, and now I have to fix it. And I did. One of my other friends, I'm not gonna name drop him, but I call him Professor Finesse because he's so knowledgeable in the game. He was just telling me, he was just like, yo, listen, X, some players just ride off of talent alone, and it can only take you so far. When you're talented and you're naturally gifted in the game, they're used to winning. But once they head to the big boy tournaments, they get a taste of what it is to lose, and it can discourage them. Like, you can be really talented and gifted in this game, but if you don't know how to lose and evaluate why you lost, then you're not going to make it as far as you could. There's a lot of talented players that I know who can make it, but because they can't handle the pressure, the reason they can't handle the pressure is because they're not used to being put in that situation. They're used to putting the pressure on their opponent, but once it goes back to them and the tables have turned, in a foreign situation, you're not going to really know how to deal with it because it's not natural to you. You're naturally used to winning. So I just talked about 2 reasons why some people don't ever improve past like the mid-level stages of their career, because 1, you may be good, but you don't see your flaws, and the top players do see them. 2, you can be a natural genius in the game, you could be winning, and you could be beating most of the low-level players in your community, but when it comes to the top players and they apply that pressure that you're so used to applying to the lesser players, it can get to you mentally. And if you don't humble yourself in both ways, like, okay, I'm bad, I have my habits, or okay, I'm bad even though I'm so dominant towards the lower players, but you need to humble yourself. Like, bitch, be humble. And like, that was a horrible, like, that was a horrible Kendrick Lamar impression, you feel me? That was horrible. But like, it's true, these are like some reasons why you may not be improving past what you're doing, because you may not be seeing your flaws, or you're really good and you don't like to admit that you lose, even though you do. As a player, let's humble each other. I want to ask you guys this. Name 2 to 3 things that you see yourself losing to. Like, are you jumping when there's pressure being applied to you? You know, just give me reasons why you think you're not that good. Even though you may get some results and you probably be in really good players, just humble yourself and just be honest with me. I was honest with you guys. I had a very horrible time, you know, always going off stage for no reason when I didn't have to, or I wasn't using my sword to its fullest potential because all I did was swing and abuse it back in Smash 4. You know, and I'll name you one more thing. When I feel pressured, sometimes I'll jump, or maybe I have a couple of habits, or sometimes I get flowcharty. But these are things that we have to admit to ourselves or each other, and maybe confide in a friend to help you realize your flaws, because you can't always do it alone. But there's times when you have to do it alone, and you have to force yourself to do it alone. So please tell me your flaws. You know, let's have a discussion about it down below. This is like the first time ever I'm doing a video off script. You know, I kind of ramble a little bit, but I feel like it's a little bit more personal when I'm talking about these certain subjects. Anyways, it is your boy X from Let Me Smash Gaming, and I'm out here.